Throughout the history of mankind, religion has influenced political bodies, which has resulted in unnecessary conflicts between those with different ideologies. According to the Pew Research Center, 87.8% of Americans have some sort of religious affiliation. It must be noted that with this percentage, there is a high likelihood that religious bias has made its way into policies that affect us every day. It is because of this, religion has a consistent impact on the way of the American government that needs to be done away with and replaced with non-biased way of governing. First, I'd like to explain the need for non-religious government. Second, how we can make this happen. After that, my colleague will provide information about how this affects us all. First, we'll begin by explaining the need for non-religious government. Looking around the world today, we can see how religion has sparked conflict and been used as a tool to oppress others with different beliefs. Our founding fathers expressed their worry about larger groups of people oppressing others through politics. In Federalist Paper 10, James Madison explains how large factions can form and use their influence to oppress smaller factions. Each religion gives a unique set of beliefs and moral codes that allows them to form these groups. This in turn allows the largest group in the country to control the others and promote religious bias in controversial policies. We can see these religious bias in many political battles still going on today, such as same-sex marriage and abortion. Now I'd like to go into a bit of how we can solve this problem. The best way to do this is to seek out opposing views and be open-minded to them. This allows for a better understanding for the different factions and their beliefs. This can be done through education. By using education, we must create a much more generalized education of cultures influenced by religion around the world. This will provide less bias for one's own religious customs and allow them to make more informed decisions on the candidate they choose to vote for. To bring it all together, my colleague will give a bit more information about how this applies to all of us today.
Thank you, John. Now, the big question is, why is all that relevant? Why is religion and government a bad idea, and why we should fight against religion and government? As our founding fathers wanted to establish, it was not to protect the government from religion, but to protect religion from the government. Religious bias is something that is very important and is very relevant to people today. Because of religious bias, many Muslim people today are discriminated against because of the way they believe. We want to try, that is not what this country was, the ideas that this country was founded on. This country was founded on the ideas of equality and unbiased freedoms. We want to fight against the discrimination of minority groups within the United States. Religion isn't something that belongs in government. Let me ask you a question. Do you want to be discriminated against for what you believe in? Do you want to have your representatives write policy that specifically discriminates against the way that you believe? To bring this all together, for government to be effective in governing, it needs to be as non-biased as possible. Thus, be involved in religion as little as possible. Being tolerant of others' beliefs is the first step to making a greater society. It is also the first steps to bringing equality to all. Thank you.